right, so we continue with Cancer, December 2024. Cancer for December 24 is an interesting reading for me because I am going through some interesting relationship with a person who is actually Cancer, and I would love to really myself to know slightly more the theme for the month for that person, so I'm deeply interested in that. Now, I will be doing that reading specifically for rebalancing you Cancers for the end of December, for the end of the month within this year. Why? Because we want to kind of like start fresh new to the new year. The new year is coming. We want to actually recollect and rebalance ourselves to the new year with all the power, with all the lessons, with all the learnings, with everything possible, and reap the fruits from these months as well. That's why I will be using Tarot 𝐂𝐚𝐬, and I will be also supporting it with my reading from the deck. So let's get started. In the beginning was the Tower. All things issue from it, all things return to it. Oh gosh, what a powerful phrase. So Tower, it's like center. For those of you who don't know what Tower means, it's the center. So in fact, the message here is centralize yourself, dear Cancers. Just pay attention to anything what can bring you out of center. It will not really serve you. So if you act through these months from that deep center perspective, that will be an amazing month. Anything what will swirl you out of that will not be really good for that. Your energy actually will be acting really beaming from that center. So your focus should be only there. You cannot even allow yourself on some level through these months to walk somewhere on the periphery, because you may miss certain opportunities while chasing them on the periphery. You must stay there. All right, so this month is specifically particularly important because if we look at Cancer, he must stay with all his legs and arms. It's one, oops, it's so true. It's really true, right? The whole universe is creating sound supporting that now. So if we look at the Cancer, let's actually look at it. One of the most balanced signs, right? So this is the Cancer. It's just a schematic representation. So do you see how everything must be balanced here, even in its structure, right? So the whole structure of Cancer is tremendous balance, and it's specifically being for these months. So the balance must be preserved absolutely everywhere, in fact. And even if something new will come to you, but you are entrained for that balance from previous months, I would act on it, but you must stay in the center. Do not be mesmerized by any opportunity. Do not be too much fun, too much amazed by it. Do not be too refrained from it, because guess what? What does it mean, center? What does it mean, center? Let me show you. Center means we are in here. It's the golden dot, in fact. And here, there are the extremities. So we want to continuously strive to that center, to that symmetry. Cancer is one of the most symmetrical signs, in fact. So we want to stay in that center, especially in the watery aspect, right? In our emotional center. So everything what will disbalance that center, we don't want to even accept in our reality for these months. That's kind of the theme of the month. Let's see what our cards are saying about it. Yes, so in fact, it will be all about energy for you. So staying in the center, preserving that center, looking in the center, not looking to the sides like these two ladies, right? You can perceive that they look into the sides. That's where you actually start disbalancing. Look here, look inside, look to that flame. That disbalance happens when we look to the sides, you know, so very important to stay and keep in that center, move in that center forward through these months. Anything what will put you down with energy, any kind of activity, you just without mercy say no to it. That type of advice I would give to you. Try to refrain yourself from anything what will bring your energy down, deplete your energy, because by the end of the year we all actually get tired on some level, you know. So in order to start fresh, anything new the next year, especially for you Cancers, you want to kind of like to keep that focus on that inner flame, and not to the sides. That's where it will start, that inner split. We don't want it to happen. All right, so which kind of personal and emotional strengths you want to focus on and lean towards to, so that you could reap the best harvest from this month, right? So let's actually look at this. 7 of Wands. It's just saying to you, keep being protective of your energy, dear Cancers. It's going in the same vein, and it's just saying to you, establish healthy boundaries there. Whoever comes and starts picking on you with their wands, be just very strict with them in that perspective. You may be like diplomatically strict, right? It's fine. But let's say they keep bothering you too much, you already can allow yourself to say it's enough. Do not throw your forks onto me, you know. So because, you know, I remember how I went to the house of one of our friends, and he had 2 kids. So there was no discipline in kids at that moment, and they were throwing forks even to the guests. So we were with my husband there, and they just didn't explain to them. And then one of the fork nearly was thrown into me. So that type of thing may be actually happening through this month with you. So you really need to be cautious. And then I actually stood up, I remember, and said, I feel very uncomfortable. Either you just show to your children some kind of discipline, or I'm sorry, dear guys, but I need to leave because it's already an unhealthy situation. So yeah, it got resolved eventually, but I saw that there was some displeasure from the side of our friends. But you know, sometimes it's okay to say things that way when there is some already danger. No, don't worry, Yulia, these are just kids. I understand, but the fork was real. It was thrown into my direction. Okay, so that's exactly what I am talking about here. So be very mindful and know when to say these things, and know that sometimes it's actually healthy, even if there will be a displeasure from that side. It's okay. Now, we continue drawing the cards regarding the personal strengths and emotional strengths which you need to lean towards to, so that you could derive the most out of these months, right? 8 of Swords. All right, 8 of Cups. 10 of Wands. Interesting. The Tower. Oh, wow. All right, so King of Cups. Now, what I see, in fact, that again, we need to keep that balance where we started all from the beginning, right? For you, dear Cancers, you need to keep that balance, and actually that watery aspect, the emotions, right? It says, hey, everything will eventually go well for you if you keep that balance. That's a very supportive card for you. Now, if you don't do it and you allow those naysayers or those disturbers in your reality to go and pick on you from multiple sides, and there will not be that healthy boundaries establishment, guess what will happen? There may be like this happening, right? The Tower, like someone crushed too much over you. That might happen actually. So be very mindful and be very assertive, in fact, in establishing your boundaries. And even if it feels like, oh, maybe it's not the right thing to do, it feels suffocating, I cannot be that way, You know, you need to know how to deal with that snake. You need to know how sometimes to take the snake in a very affirmative and confident way and remove it. I don't say kill it. Snakes were created for something, but just, you know, snakes are handled in a very confident way. You can even watch a few videos on that. You know, I was studying snakes and they need to be handled confidently. You cannot really handle them by negotiating with a snake. It's just not possible, you know? So with a snake, there is only one talk, and you always know that it will bite either way. So you need to keep that reasonable distance with the snake. Otherwise, the suffocation is inevitable. And guess what? It's coming really close to this card for you, dear Cancers. So please pay attention to that and keep focusing on what is working in your reality, not on what is not working. That is very important. If you start focusing on what is not working, you will start being overwhelmed. Your energy will get really heavy. Like this lady, do you see how much she's holding in her hands? It will be already that like electrical charge. You will be overcharged. Everything will become super painful. You know, that's why you want to kind of like keep that focus on what is working, what is balancing. Intentionally release yourself from what is not working. Know that healthy boundaries should be established. Know that you can absolutely say those healthy boundary words to even family members, to your friends, to your colleagues, whenever they step over your boundaries, all right? So that you would actually remove yourself from that perception or in their hands that you are a people pleaser or something. You want to establish that center in you. You want to have that possibility through this month to actually strengthen yourself in that attitude. And then we can perceive this card as a new revelation as well, and a new insight for you that, wait, I am not here to please absolutely everyone. I am here to actually also be in that state, in that joyful state of me, in reconnecting with me, in recollecting with me. I am deserving it. And if you recollect yourself through that centeredness by the end of this year, in December, I promise you, somehow you will start having that flow of energy, flow of emotions in a healthy way through you, sitting like that King of Cups, in fact. So, and let's have a look actually which kind of challengers may be awaiting for you, Cancers, through these months. You're telling me probably, Yulia, I don't want these challengers. I want to equip you, beautiful souls, for these months, because it seems like someone or something may want something from you here. Do you remember these cards? So we want to just to keep that balance within you, and we want to know how to overcome it. Are you with me in that? All right, it means again, keep that center. Do you see? Keep that center. Whatever is happening around is happening. You are here. You're like that dancing queen in this creation. Do you remember that song, Dancing Queen? So you can even just switch it on at home and start dancing, you know, eat your bit of chocolate, have a cup of coffee in the morning, whatever it is. And even if you cannot see the blessing in this situation, just you can even shout, where is the blessing? I promise you, whenever we just start talking with the reality through our dance, through our kind of like movements like this, showing what we want to be, eventually we'll find that center, we'll find that joy, and it will come into your place. And that's exactly what you need through these months to become that dancing queen of this creation. And everything will be swirling around you, like around that page, but you keep focused on your centeredness so that even if anything is swirling around, nothing will be broken. In these months, again, I would not recommend you start anything new. Go into any endeavor specifically. Do not go anywhere. Just keep that balance, even if everything is swirling around. That will be the safest way to pass through that month, in fact. And then everything is glued here through love. And you will find that fit for you, where you actually can find that joy, that connectedness through love. Let's pay attention to, guess what? This guy, he has his bee, and this beautiful lady, she has her flower. So they found each other, right? The flower of love right now is kind of like growing based on that perfect fit between them. So you want just to be in that center, not to miss the opportunity which may come into your life. So I just wanted to seduce you here a bit. It may be any kind of opportunity, career opportunity. It may be some new relationship, some new friendship opportunity. It may be some money opportunity. It may be even some improving health opportunity, some joy opportunity, whatever it is. The gifts may be coming to you in wonderful ways, but in order to see them, you must stay in the center. Very, very important for these months for you, Cancers.